Well, this week we're definitely getting our TIG practice in. So I don't have a big sheet metal brake, so I have to do these panels individually and then weld them together and then grind down the seams and everything. So kind of making do with what we have. But started getting this side of the console laid out. This center piece right here, or the bottom piece right here, is going to be broke up and then Zeus tabbed so that this top part is removable. And this top part right here, this is just a mock-up one. I have a die for my swag bender coming, so I'll be able to actually break this part, but I just slotted it for the mock-up one. That way I can just bend it by hand. So that's kind of the look we're going for. It's gonna be tabbed off of this side and then tabbed right there. So all of these will Zeus off, take this whole panel off. That way you can get to all the gauges. Ow. That way you can get to all the gauges and stuff. Service all those components just in case you need to troubleshoot in there or anything. This side will be closed off. That's pretty much it for this side. The only other thing I'm going to do is do a little compartment right in here. I was gonna do it up here, but it didn't quite make sense with like visibility and all that kind of stuff to do it way up here, and then the valve cover is right behind that, so the compartment wouldn't have been that big. So I think I'm gonna do it down here, right at this spot, and then it's gonna be a super small little cubby, but at least something to stuff gloves or keys or something while you're wheeling in there. So this is the driver's side of the center console. I need to trim out this whole side. I went ahead and just made it full length all the way to this tube, but now I've got to trim out where the pedal goes through. Pedal clearance is kind of tight in here when you're sitting in the seat. Heels had to be recessed a little bit. That's why we put the recess in the floor. And then the pedal clearance is pretty tight on the exhaust right there. It's just made a thin little skinny pedal. That way full throttle's right there, and your foot's not gonna hit on the exhaust. We'll trim out the panel where the corner of your foot goes and then recess it back in. That way your foot is still covered over the exhaust. I've kind of gone back and forth on whether or not I wanted to make a brake pedal, but for the sake of how the gas pedal looks, I think I'm gonna do a matching brake pedal. I need to come over a little bit more and then back. That way the pedals are kind of close to being in the same plane. I think that'll be a little more comfortable that way. And then I'm also gonna open up the notch in the floor on this side because your foot kind of wants to be a little more over to the side. It's not much. Again, with the throttle cable, or throttle pivot, I guess you could say, same thing with the transfer case linkage. I had to play around with where this pivot was on the pedal in accordance to where the cable is going through to get the right amount of throw that I want on this gas pedal. So I ended up with a 1-to-1 because the pivot's right in the center of this lever. That way, as much as the cable is moving, that's how much your foot is moving. So for this, like we talked about, I broke this bottom plate up and put the Zeus springs and dimple dyed the bottom plate and then the top plate so that the Zeus fasteners sit flush in there. But I just wanted to test fit that. I'm still waiting on some more 1/8 inch rivets. I only have 2 right now, so like I talked about, I need to bring this pedal over a little bit, and I had to open up the recess in the floor. So how I'm gonna do this side of the floor is I just made little cardboard templates for each individual part, or side, I guess you could say, of this piece to make this one piece right here. And now I'm gonna take it over to the computer, input these measurements into the computer, and cut out a new piece. Well, I always expect to get a lot further than I do, but it is what it is. We're getting there slowly. Driver's side is just about done. I think the only thing left that I have to do, I welded the full bottom side of this, is I'm gonna weld all these seams on the top side. That way it looks nice from the top. But we opened up the recess a little more to this side so your brake foot can sit kind of right here and leaned over a little bit. That's like the most comfortable position to have your gas pedal foot kind of at this angle and your brake foot over here. So that'll work. Next thing I gotta do is I gotta tab the bottom section, cut out a new top section. I gotta space the gauges out a little bit, do the brake on that, and then the passenger side is done. I just gotta tab it. Well, that's it for this week. This is definitely the tedious part of this build, doing all the console work and everything, all the aluminum stuff. But I'm having fun with it. I haven't TIG welded in quite some time, and it's some long overdue practice. So hope you guys enjoyed watching me build the console and start doing the interior and stuff. This thing's coming together. So thank you guys for watching this week's update. As always, keep it classy, and I'll see you guys next week. Where's Mama?